what I want you to do is the face side of the boomerang, which is the airfoiled side, always faces you when you throw. Okay, and you probably already know that. I like to throw it with a pistol grip, which is 2 fingers around the tip of the boomerang, just like this. All right, and when you throw it, this boomerang likes just a small, very light breeze coming straight at you.
I have not had much to say about Impeachment 2.0. There's a couple of reasons for that. But in the end, it's just more of the cacophony of noise about this, isn't it? I don't know. This is, or at least it started as, an opinion show. Dave, you gotta have an opinion. All right, I have some opinions. Now, usually I try to focus more on history and facts and flows of information, but today is just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. I don't really care what you think about it. I really don't. It's just my opinion, and that's where I'm at on this whole thing. I haven't had a lot to say about Impeachment 2.0 because impeachment is, well, it's a political act. It's not criminal, folks. This is the thing people need to understand. There's no criminal proceedings here. This is 100% entirely, utterly, totally political. It's all impeachment has ever been. It was seen as a means of removing someone who was dangerous to the Republic when it was, founded. But it has long since devolved into politics. I mean, that's really what it is. It's politics. And because it's politics, there's no real substance in it whatsoever. If you're on the left, you think one way. If you're on the right, you think the other way. And I know I hate people that say that, but the reality of it is right now, it's absolutely true. People are not judging this impeachment on the basis of anything other than, I like Donald Trump, I hate Donald Trump. Everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is meaningless. And so, while much time, energy, effort, and arguing could be dedicated to this, at the end of the day, what's it going to accomplish? The general perception right now is that it will not succeed, that Donald Trump will not be impeached. Now, that said, I'm going to say some things about this that are my opinion that are going to upset more than a few of you. You hear the emails already. Damn, you're crazy. Maybe. Controversial statement number 1 is the Democrats don't want a conviction. They're not trying to convict him. They don't care if they get a conviction. There's something else they're after here. And it ain't Donald Trump. They know Donald Trump is politically emasculated right now. They know that. They don't have to worry about that. There are bigger fish to fry. And that's what they're actually after. We'll circle back to that if I can say. I said that the other day in the board meeting for sub-vets. People get, why are you saying that? Don't say that. Circling back. What is that? What is that? No, this whole thing that we're watching, or going to watch if you're going to, I'm personally not going to, is just a show trial. That's all it is. It's putting something up there to demonstrate a political position that is acceptable to the state. That's all it is. Much like the Nazi show trials in 1944, 1945, these were... You want to see, I mean, we always talk about the Soviet show trials, but the Nazi show trials of the people who were accused of being part of the bomb plot are even more disturbing and outrageous. If you're watching the video, this photograph of this gentleman who was charged of being a part of that, this wasn't a trial. You should watch the video of this. The judge is up there screaming at him. That's all this is intended to be, folks. It's just to put on a show. It's a dog and pony show. It's a show trial. That's all it is. Now, that being the case, maybe Republicans should take a different strategy. I don't know. I'm not a Republican genius, barely a Republican at all. So maybe they know better about what they should do than they shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, when you recognize the fact that the Democrats are not trying for a conviction, they don't care. They don't need a conviction. It kind of, maybe it changes how you're looking at this. The interesting thing about this is, to me, if Donald Trump actually committed a crime, and again, I'm not saying he did or didn't. We don't have any evidence one way or the other. But if your position is that Donald Trump actually committed a crime, he's not the president. Why don't you charge him with a crime and arrest him and try him? And, in your opinion, presuming you are correct, win your conviction. Does that prevent Donald Trump from running for office again? No, it doesn't. Convicted felons can, in fact, run for office in this country and have done so in the past. However, it gives grounds for the body to which he or she is elected, i.e. Congress, to not seat them, to expel them. This guy's a convicted felon. We don't want him here. He doesn't meet our criteria. Boom, out. We make our own rules, right? That's what it says in the Constitution. Same with the Senate. As far as the president goes, let's say Eugene Debs had been elected as president in 1920. Congress would have immediately impeached him on the basis of he was a convicted felon, and that's not the person who should be in the White House. If Donald Trump were convicted of a crime, a felony particularly, reelected as president of the United States, Congress would immediately move to impeach him. And who knows what the future would hold with that. But at least you would have an argument. Oh, he's a convicted felon. In the case of impeachment, your argument is, we don't like him. He did something we didn't like. It's political. And ultimately, you have virtually no chance of winning your case. But again, you don't want to win the case. Now, why do I say they don't want to win the case? Well, they don't need to. What they are actually after here has nothing to do with Donald Trump at all. It has to do with a 50-50 Senate. It has to do with the fact that they want control of the Senate, because once they get control of the Senate, and you could argue, well, they have it now. Yeah, but it's tenuous. There's no guarantee. The midterms are coming. Every sitting president loses in the midterms, loses seats in the midterms. But what if our entire midterm campaign for senators was Senator so-and-so refused to hold Donald Trump accountable for his actions? How can you send that person back to the United States Senate? Paid for by the Democrat National Committee for Senate. It's campaign fodder. That's all it is. They want every Republican they can get on record saying not guilty about Donald Trump, supporting, quote unquote, Donald Trump, because that plays more in the election, in the midterms, than Donald Trump does. I bounced that theory off a couple of people. Bill Mick was telling me this morning he doesn't think that it'll play with the electorate. I don't know if it will or not. I mean, how much of the electorate do you really need it to play with? Very few senators right now are sitting on, 70 to 30, outside of California anyway, 70 to 30, marginals, constituencies. I mean, they're not, most of these are pretty close. You don't need to change a lot of people's minds, but if you change some people's minds, maybe you pick up 3, 4, 5 seats. Who knows? A third of the Senate is up for re-election. We already know that at least one Republican is retiring. I just feel like because this is a political act, it will become political. It will be used politically. You didn't vote to convict Donald Trump, therefore you support Donald Trump, therefore you're a terrorist. I mean, that's where we're headed here, right? And you're not fit to be elected to the Senate of the United States of America. I can see it coming. The end result of all this is not the constitutional crisis that we continue to think that it's going to be. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is not sitting on the trial because he is, as I said the other day, sending a virtue signal that This is political. It's not criminal. This is not related to us. And unless there is a conviction of Donald Trump, there won't be a Supreme Court case out of this. If there is a conviction, then Trump can appeal. This whole thing could go all the way to the Supreme Court, and then we'll have a decision as to whether or not you can impeach an official after they've been termed out of office or turned out of office. But in the meantime, the Supreme Court is dearly hoping that there will be no conviction, and I'm just going to go on record here and say there won't be, because that's not the goal, so that they can then make this about, the Supreme Court wants to avoid it like the plague. It's a political act. I can see a case where they would even come up with that decision. It's politics. It's non-judiciable. And make that argument. We'll have to wait and see, but at the end of the day, this whole thing is it's just germ warfare, folks. That's all this impeachment 2.0 is. And for the life of me, the hubris that's involved with it, that's the amazing part to me about this. It isn't that Democrats are dumb enough to do this. It isn't all that. It's the hubris involved here, because they know that sooner or later, this is going to come back. Sooner or later, if you throw germ warfare at somebody, they're going to throw it back. It's a boomerang, folks. That's what it is. It's a boomerang. You throw a boomerang, what does it do? Flies up in the air, spins around, and then it comes back. And if you're not really careful, it whacks you in the side of the head. This whole thing is a boomerang. That's all it is. If you throw a boomerang at something, it will come back at you. And Clinton led to Trump. Clinton impeachment led to Trump impeachment. Trump impeachment leads to what? You know it's coming. I know it's coming. Democrats have to know it's coming. They're not. Maybe they are, but are they really that stupid? Impeachment 2.0, that's what tells me impeachment 2.0 has nothing to do with Trump. It's all about control of the Senate in the midterms, because those campaign ads are already being produced. Senator Ted Cruz refused to hold Donald Trump accountable. Senator Marco Rubio refused to hold Donald Trump accountable. Vote flapjack for Senate, paid for by the Democrat National Committee. It's just a giant boomerang, folks. And if you throw a boomerang, it will come back at you sooner or later.